Hey, what's up guys, it's Totally Dubbed here, and today it's making a review on the TFTAs. This is the 1XBs and the 1Vs, or known as the 2V1S or the 3V2Bs, but the names are going to be changed. I'll get on to that in just a second. So I had the Denon AHC 710s to my left, as you can see over here, and I got the TFTA sent to me by Paul. So very thankful for sending me these two, and right, I'm just gonna get straight into it. So first of all, I'm gonna give them their overall rating because I'm sure that's what you're all waiting for, and I'm gonna give them a solid 9 out of 10. And I'll explain the only flaw they've got, and it's quite interesting actually, but 9 out of 10, and I had previously rated these quite high, but now I'm dropping their rating, so I don't know, 7 to 6 out of 10. Just to give you a little knowledge of what I've heard, so I've heard the TFTAs, 710s, which I conceived to be the best before I heard the TFTAs, and I preferred the 710s over the Monster Turbine Pro Golds, the Shure SE535s, the Westone 2s, and my previous old ones were the EX500s, Sony EX500s. I've also heard some TF10s and things like that, but in reality I'm just going to say SE535s had no bass, good clarity, but no bass, well overpriced for what they were. Westone 2s, again no bass, as you can see, balanced armature drivers, and then well, the 710s, they were very nice, but when I heard in comparison to TFTAs, they sound like babies, so to speak, in comparison to the TFTAs. Also heard the IE8s, which sounded shit overall, I'm not gonna lie. That's my preference, I didn't like them, and I'm not even sure if I got real or fake ones at the end of the day. So that's that. So, what makes them better? Now, when I heard the 710s at first, I absolutely loved them, and especially when I was comparing to earphones that I had heard in the past, or like the MT-PGs, they sounded on par. If anything, maybe sometimes they sounded better because they had nice bass to it. But when I compare the TFTAs, both versions absolutely destroy the 710s in terms of bass. And not only that, their mid-range and their highs are absolutely perfect. They're not toned down, they're not too sibilant like the Denons, so in other words, they don't hurt your ears. They're also loud, as in they're not like the Monster Turbine Pro Golds that you have to turn up your volume. I know I'm deaf, but still, I don't have to turn up my volume 20-30% more, so they're quite good. They have no problems whatsoever, so to speak. So yeah, I mean, they're absolutely lovely earphones. So now take these out of the equation. Now, why did I give them out a 9 out of 10 rating? Well, it's simple. As you can see in front of me, I've got two pouches here, and obviously these are not the pouches that comes with the TFTAs, and these are just random pouches that I found lying about. See, I've got another tip over here somewhere. There we go. So yeah, the only downside that I've got to these was 1, the packaging, 2, the pouch, 3, the wire, 4, the tips. Now, gotta say that first of all, this is subject to change because according to Paul, they are releasing new packaging, which is absolutely great. Just opening up my Head-Fi thread over here, which I'll link down in the description for you guys, and basically they are changing the packaging to make it much nicer with metallic, how's it called, magnetic closing flap, so to speak, so it's quite nice. Also, there will be a leather carrying pouch, so maybe something similar to this would be quite cool. There will be 5 set of tips, silicone tips. At the moment we've only got 3, we've got medium, large, and small, but they're going to arrange triple flank, hopefully, and something else that we don't know yet. And so the future packaging also will be straight 3.5mm jack, and the price will not change despite all these changes. Another thing is, as you can see, you've got the B's and the S's right here, and they look exactly the same. And the metal casing around it, the housing so to speak, will be changed to gold for the extra base ones. So that's brilliant, because you can actually see the difference between I've got base and non-base, if that makes sense. So as you can see, those things are going to be changed, and I think those things are 0.5 so to speak of the things that the rating that dropped, as in, you know, the aesthetics, or you know what I mean, the aesthetics of the accessories. For £100 earphones, it would be nice to have a little bit extra, like the Denons had a case, they had some complete tips in there, which is great, but yeah, for the things that cannot be changed or haven't been changed, and another 0.5 dropped for that, was the tips. So the tips are nice and they fit in your ear pretty good, but the thing is, the tips are identical for both versions, and you'll see that the B's and the S's have exact the same tips, but their drivers are completely different. One is small, i.e. the base, and the other one is very wide. So it's not very useful for having the same tips, because I actually in fact had some tips on the B's and they just got lost because they easily came out, which is a bit of a shame. So I've already lost one set of tips, and bear in mind, I'm the type of guy which has never ever in, you know, the history of buying earphones, has never lost tips in his life, and it's the first time I lost tips. So it's one problem, that I lost tips, but you know, at the end of the day, you can buy extra tips, you can buy a carrying pouch, which is not a problem. Another thing is though, I mean, I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but when you put these in your ear, they kind of compress like this, you see, and when it compresses, it makes a weird sound, like you bouncing a bouncing ball off a mirror and goes boing, sort of thing. You won't be able to hear it, I don't think you will, but it's kind of annoying. But I guess it's very tip related, because my compos don't really do that, but these tips do that quite a lot. But anyway, apart from that, the build quality is not perfect. As you can see, the wire is kind of tangly. You get a little bit of microphonics as well, which is not great, but the wire length is brilliant. It's absolutely perfect. The wire quality is okay, not the best, but it's okay. And the 3.5mm jack is straight and not angled. I would prefer angled, because when it goes in your pocket, instead of being like that, it's like this, so it's a little bit more concealed, so it doesn't break after a while. But you know, I could be wrong, but I prefer L-shaped jack. So in reality, for the new batch of things coming out, you'll have more tips, which is great, so you might not have any problems with tips. The colours will be changed, the packaging will be changed, you'll get a pouch, which is great. So in reality, what are the things that won't be changed is, one, the wire, the 3.5mm jack, the fact that the tips will probably be the same in terms of like the diameter of them. And another thing is, as you can see over here, it's very hard to see, but it's an L and right. It's just there, I mean, you can just about see it there. And it's very, very hard to see. And I would have liked either a clearer sign, or like a little groove or something like here, so I can actually tell left and right straight from the start. It's a little bit annoying, and the reason I'm saying that is because after wear and tear, you'll see that they'll probably come off. As you can see, my nail even got a bit of paint off over there, which was, I don't know, I was just taking it, I was just doing this, and it just took some paint off. So you can imagine after a year that R and L shape, L sign will come off. But yeah, apart from that, 9 out of 10. I mean, you can see all these things that I've said are little accessory stuff, but apart from that, 9 out of 10. Sound quality, absolutely amazing. Isolation is not bad, not the best, but it's pretty good for what it does. You know, leakage, obviously you got the port out here, which is which leaks a little bit of sound, but it's okay. Looks absolutely amazing. I call them the space shuttle, or the, I don't know, some sort of, they look quite cool. They're very aerodynamic. It looks like, you know, you're designing a hybrid car for like Audi or something like that. It looks really cool. I really like these, like the shuttles, or I don't know, something like that. It looks kind of cool. But yeah, apart from that, guys, sound quality. I mean, the price as well is absolutely amazing. £100. Now, I have classed these the best under £300 earphones I have ever heard. So I'm simply saying that because of the earphones that I came from, you know, Westone 2s, Shure SC535s, IE8s. I'm sure there's other earphones out there that I haven't heard yet, but for people on Headfi to say the SC535s are absolutely amazing, or the IE8s are absolutely amazing, or the Westones are absolutely amazing, these blow the hell out of every single earphones I've ever heard. Bass quantity and everything, as in they're absolutely amazing. And finally, the last thing I would like to say is the difference between two. They're very similar. The sound signature is exactly the same. The only thing is the treble is a little bit more sparkly, so to speak, on the S versions, and on the B versions, a little bit more toned down, but the bass is much more apparent. It's very, very strong at first, but then the bass kind of tones down after burn-in. And I gotta say, you need to give these burn-in, and that's why the review has come a bit later than the unboxing. It's because I had to give these time. And when I first got these out the box, I was like, where the hell are all my mids and highs? Bass is amazing, blowing me out the, you know, blowing me out the water. These ones, bass was not as strong, but the treble and treble was there, the mids and highs were there. But over time, the bass quantity came higher in these, bass quantity came lower in these, and they both became absolutely amazing. So in reality, long story short, S or Bs, Bs if you like bass, S if you like more treble. Simple as that, clear cut. Personally, my favourites are the Bs. I'm more of a bass head, but I like it because they're less sparkly. They give that good pounding bass, and they're very nice indeed. So guys, if you ever are looking for under £100 earphones, $150 earphones, or €130 or something like that, you know, around that price bracket, go for these. Even if it's not under that price, even if it's under £200, I'd still go for these. They still blow the hell out of every earphone I'm saying. And they're such an underestimated earphone simply because no one's heard of them. And at the time I've made my Headfi thread, 3 people have purchased these earphones, and the bass version that is. 3 people have purchased them because of my Headfi thread. And all of them seem to have positive feedback. And another guy, 4th guy, Luco, which first recommended them to me, also loves them. There's 4 people on Headfi already that absolutely love them, and I really like to see these take off because they're absolutely great. It's kind of a shame that people go for names like Shure and Monster, Westone and brands like that, which are huge, but never look at the smaller companies. Usually you would say smaller companies are not as good, they don't sound as good, you know, the quality of the product is not good for what they offer. But these are absolutely amazing, and you cannot go wrong with them. I can promise you this, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed this review. I know it's been a very lengthy 13-minute review, but yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and you know, if you got any questions, let me know. So see you guys. I've been Totally Dubbed, and I hope you enjoyed the review of the TFTA earphones. Totally dubbed out. Bye bye.